It's time to go qualifying for the final time in Season 3 of the F1 Academy Racing Series. And what better place to do it than Las Vegas. We are going head-to-head between the two championship leaders, Mercedes' Dorian Pan and Ferrari's Maya Berg. And they will do battle this weekend. Just 9 points separate the pair. And at the end of it, we will have our third F1 Academy champion. 2 13-lap races is how it will be decided. The grid for those will be sorted out in the qualifying session that we have coming up for you now. A qualifying session that, as we always have done this season, a little bit of a twist. We reverse the top 8 positions for the lowest scoring first race tomorrow. And then we go full points as you qualify for Grand Prix Day. Well, you can see we do have a bit of a delayed start to this session, just a couple of minutes, and that gives us a chance to welcome both Alice Powell. We had inaugural F1 Academy champion Marta Garcia, and we go from 2023 champion to reigning champion Abby Pulling. Abby, let's bring you in first. How does it feel to be out in Las Vegas this weekend?
I mean, it's incredible. It's a complete different atmosphere. It's the lights are flashing. There's casinos. It's very different to anything that I've ever experienced before, and it's nice. It's refreshing to see. And under the floodlights here, I'm quite envious, let's say, of the drivers who get to race around this circuit.
Just a bit. Alice, this is a big qualifying session coming up for the drivers as well. We've only had 2 drivers qualify on pole this season. Dorian Pan has not qualified on pole. What a time this would be for her to do so. The drivers have only had that 1 practice session to get their eye in around this very unique circuit for them. And this a big opportunity for Maya Berg to go and give herself a head start in this championship fight.
It would, but as you mentioned, it would be a big time for Dorian Pan to get her first pole position of the season, which sounds crazy to say, but she's been consistent, hasn't she? She's been up there, been in the top 5, getting strong results. Of course, Maya Berg was very unlucky in Canada with the car issues, and she lost a lot of points during that weekend, but she has absolutely clawed it back. She's done a brilliant job. She's a top point scorer in the last 4 races, 70 points she's been able to claw back. And if she didn't do that fantastic overtake and Dorian Pan in Singapore, she would have been 23 points behind. So she's 9 points behind now, and I can't wait. We're going to have such an exciting qualifying session on our hands.
10 seconds from the green light, and then it will be 30 minutes. A 30-minute qualifying session that Alicia Palmowski tells us, due to the conditions, she thinks it will be a last lap shootout. Here they go. The drivers are on their way down pit lane. Abby, what is going through your mind at this point now? If you are Dorian Pan or Maya Berg, you've won this championship before. This will be the first time in F1 Academy we go to the final race of the season, but what's going through your mind as we jump on board there with Maya Berg as you head down pit lane for qualifying?
I mean, there's no doubt that both the drivers are going to be nervous. I think it's how you react to them nerves. It's a really natural feeling in circumstances like this, and the pressure that they're both under. I mean, the prize for winning the championship is so pivotal. So they're both fighting for that seat next year. But it's really, really, really important for them to be tidy and to really put the lap together here. You want to calm yourself down and just visualize that lap around the Vegas circuit.
Well, that's Abby's thoughts on how the drivers are feeling. Let's hear from one of the 2 title contenders, Maya Berg, on how she feels about this title fight. We caught up with her before the weekend. She's on your screen now.
I feel good. Yeah, just looking forward to get back on track. I think it's been a long wait since Singapore, but yeah, I feel great. I think we have great momentum with the last fast races, and also the test in Bahrain was really positive. So yeah, feeling confident, feeling good with the team, and just want to finish the job and try to replicate what we've been doing in the last races. Fighting for the title now, doesn't change what we've been doing the whole season. We've been working hard all the time, and just go into with the same mentality as we've had since Montreal. Give it all and take every opportunity, because in the end we're still the ones having to catch up in the points. So yeah, we still have to do the same job as we've been doing and not really try anything different, because we know what we've been doing has been working. So yeah, just try to stay calm and do what we know what to do.
Maya mentioning about that Bahrain test that took place at the end of October. Very different conditions, very different circuit, but Maya very much dominating that. We're all fighting for a toe already in this session, but that would have given a lot of confidence, wouldn't it, Alice, being quickest in that test, that final test before this final round?
Oh, 100%. It would have, and it's important to maximise the running that these in-season tests. They get plenty of running and plenty of tests in F1 Academy, which is a big thing for it, and a big help for the drivers to learn and to develop as well. And it's hugely important, and that would give her the confidence. But Dorian Pan, don't forget, was fastest in free practice earlier on, and she's in the driving seat, isn't she? She's in control. She's got the 9-point gap. It's close. It cannot be won in the first race that we're going to see tomorrow. So it can't be won in the sprint race, not mathematically possible. So it will, great for us, maybe not so much a bit of a stress for Dorian and Maya. It will go down to race 2, which is going to be on Saturday, of course, as the drivers continue to try and find their positions and get a tow. And that's going to be important, I'm assuming, Abby. We've got 1.92 kilometre straight on the exit in turn 12, all the way down to turn 14. Important to try and grab a tow if you can.
Yeah, it can be the difference between being at the front and losing a few positions. On a straight like that, you can gain a couple of attempts. So as we see all the drivers trying to not be the one leading the field away, warming their tyres, but also doing it strategically so they're not dropping back. But it's really, really important for them to try and get that tow and get that track position, because you want to get any advantage you can around here.
Absolutely, and one driver who will be looking to do that is now a race winner in F1 Academy. She did that last time out in Singapore, and one of a few drivers who will be receiving home support this weekend. It's Williams-backed Leah Block. Let's hear from her and what she had to say coming into the weekend.
I guess Vegas is the closest I will ever get to be racing an open wheel car. You know, basically at home. So it's a great place for it, a great place to round out my 2 years in F1 Academy. And of course, there's some entertainment and it's a great atmosphere. You know, I'm 19, so you can't do anything in the US, but I'm sure we'll have a great dinner afterwards.
Gave ART their first win for 2 seasons as well, did Leah Block last time out, so that would have given her a lot of confidence. One of a few drivers who will be having their final race in F1 Academy, so we'll be looking to end on a high. Meanwhile, the likes of Ella Lloyd, one of 6 drivers confirmed for next season, and let's look at her now as she comes on to a flying lap, making her way down towards out of turn 4 and down this first long stretch. It looks like we're going to be getting the first real flying laps in here, Alice.
Yeah, we certainly are. Jumping onto the brakes, going through turn 5, which then suits you out all the way towards turn 6, which is tricky. Combined braking. Radio from Crone.
This Rachel's like blocking is crazy.
So some upset already early on in this session as Ella navigates through turn 7, 8, and 9, getting the car rotated then to shoot you out. Not the longest straight on the track, but still a decent length straight as you go through the curve into turn 10. And again, Abby, another combined braking zone into 11, which will prove even trickier in these colder temperatures.
Yeah, this is where on the combined braking you really need to get that front axle in to give you the confidence to hit the brake whilst turning. It's really prone to lockups, especially this anti-clockwise track. The front left doesn't get much work or much temper into it, and especially, you know, Formula One, they have tyre warmers here. In F1 Academy they don't have that luxury, so you've got to really put the work into the tyres and get them get them in a window, so you can have the confidence, you reduce the risk of locking up, and it's a really hard task around here, as this is, I think, the coldest temps they've seen this year, and it's really tricky, and you've got to be careful not to cold grain the tyre. If you work it too early, it cold grains the tyre, where we see it looks almost matted. But I think we're just going to see the times continue to tumble, because they're just going to get more and more temperature in the tyre.
So one key thing will be not to take yourself out of this session too early. You want to be in it all the way to the end, as Ella Lloyd takes us round 2:10.9. She puts those first times on the board. One of the things Alicia Palmowski mentioned, Abby, was about suffering with brakes going cold down the straight. We'll come on to that in just a second. Let's watch Nina Gaiman round, and Chloe Chambers, who goes to provisional pole very early in the session, but that's a good result for the home fans, as Maya Berg now goes fastest as well. Good for one of the championship contenders. But how is it dealing with that as a driver, in terms of when you have a really long straight like that, and then dealing with brakes that might be going slightly cold?
Yeah, I mean, going down the strip, as we call it, it's really tough, because the wind is on the tyres, so not only is the brakes getting cold, and you don't have the confidence hitting the brake, it almost feels like you've glazed the brakes if they're not up to temperature, which isn't a nice feeling. You don't stop as efficiently as you'd like. But also the surface temperatures, you're going down that long straight, there's no load being put on the tyre, so the surface is getting cold as well. So again, more prone to lockups, more prone to missing the corner. It's not a nice situation to be in, but yeah, the driver's managing it well.
Maya Berg looks like she's being slightly delayed here, Alice, behind Alba Larsen. That said, Alba Larsen going very quickly, but Maya Berg just seems to have caught her at the wrong time, was half a second quicker than Alba last time round. Seems to be that you want to be, it's going to be all about track positioning this session, as Alba looked like she almost grazed the wall, maybe even might have done so.
Yeah, Maya couldn't close her eyes though, as I was just actually wondering if Alba Larsen was giving Maya a helping hand by being in front and giving her a tow, but actually looking at the timing screens, Maya's lost a chunk of time in that middle sector, a few tenths of a second. However, she is going to benefit with a little bit of a tow. She's now obviously had to pull out of that tow as they go down the Las Vegas strip, jumping on the brakes. Does she get past? Oh, let's have a look. No, a little bit too deep, and that's going to affect her exit, because it's going to be flat chat all the way through turn 16, and they're going to go through turn 17, so that's going to have affected her, Abby.
I'm thinking there's maybe some team tactics come into play here from the MP drivers. Of course, these two drivers are teammates, so maybe Alba was trying to give her a tow. Maybe they've discussed something going into the series, into the qualifying session. Maybe it's going to be, I give you a tow, you give me a tow. I mean, it'll be interesting to see if that is the case, and as the session plays out, we'll see more of that. But I don't think it helped Maya in that situation.
I think that's risky, isn't it, if you're going to start doing that, Chris?
Yeah, it certainly worked, as she is provisional pole, but she almost was too quick going down the straight and then completely misjudged the braking zone. But I think that could be the case. Dorian Pan, meanwhile, is just going for this. Certainly at this moment in time, she's just going for this by herself. She wants a clear track around her, and we'll see what she does on this lap. She is personal best. Everyone pretty much, apart from Alba Larsen, has gone personal best through the first sector. Maya Berg is fastest through the first sector as we complete 10 minutes.
Yeah, Dorian Pan's actually getting a really good exit out of what will be turn 2 through 3 into 4, because a very handy speed trap she set there. She's not getting a tow from anybody, so she's clearly doing a good job with the throttle pedal, and also she's just gone fastest of anyone in that middle sector, and it's a couple of tenths quicker than Maya Berg in the middle sector.
Definitely time to be made through that final sector. Though Robertson is fastest through the final sector, and she's put herself in 9th place with that. I think back to Jeddah when Ella Lloyd got a really good tow there coming out of the final corner and got herself a really good qualifying position out of that. Was already on a good lap, and that just boosted her up the grid even more. Speaking of, Ella Lloyd goes P5, the McLaren driver. Let's watch Dorian Pan through this final corner, because she's gone purple through the second sector and purple overall. 2:08.1, and she had absolutely no one around her on that lap. Meanwhile, Maya Berg is making her way into pit lane.
This is a really early call, actually, for a tyre change. Maybe, actually, she's not happy with the balance and she wants to come in early, maybe make a change to the bar on the front or the rear, and to give her that better kind of shot on the second set of tyres. Of course, they're allocated two sets over the race weekend that they'll use throughout the qualifying session and 2 races. So it's a strange call, but maybe a call that will work out in the end. I think trying everything she can to try and get the edge on her competition.
Alba Larsen's come in as well, so back to the theory of, are they working together, are they mirroring their tactics there? Meanwhile, Tina Hausmann went 3rd, Gaidman went 4th, Chambers went 5th. We reversed the top 8, remember, so we'll pay attention to those positions in particular. Nobels, Ferreira, who's confirmed herself on the grid for next year, with Racing Bulls is 7th, Block is 8th. Just outside it is Ella Lloyd in 9th.
It's looking close, isn't it? And Dorian Pan, another purple first sector, and I am kind of interested really on this MP approach, because they're going to have to try and get the tyres, if they do change the tyres, get them up to temperature, Abby.
Yeah, I think with this is MP, they're playing the long game. They know that it's so cold that they just keep doing laps and laps and laps, and the times just keep going down and down and down, the more laps they do. So I think they're giving themselves a longer stint on the second set of tyres to have more tyre temp at the end of the run. I think this could play into their favour as long as there's no stoppages or anything like that.
Chambers is on going very quickly now. We haven't seen anything from Alicia Parmovsky, but that's about to change on this lap. She looks like she'll cross the line. She had a good target ahead of her, and I expect to see her going up the grid, but it's Chambers who really is the one to watch. And now on this lap, there goes Parmovsky up to P4. Pan has improved, and Hausmann is gone 2nd place, and there goes Chloe Chambers. The American goes to provisional pole position in Las Vegas, 2:07.825. She's been on absolute fire when it comes to qualifying this season, trying to get what would be a 4th pole position of the season.
Yeah, she's looking forward to having a good weekend. She's already gone faster than what Dorian Pan did in the free practice sessions. We ride on board with Dorian Pan. You can see they're running, of course, low downforce here because of the long straights we are graced with here in Las Vegas, and she's just set a mighty first sector as she goes through into turn 11, out through turn 12. Actually, no, sorry, that's turn 8, now into 9, and then she'll go up through into turn 10. You can just see, is that Nina Gaben just in front of her, Abby? That looks pretty, could be nearly the perfect gap to getting a toe.
I was about to say, that is a beautiful setup from the Prema team and the drivers. That is exactly what I would want if I was leading the championship and I wanted to try and put it on pole to solidify my chances of the championship. Yeah, having a nice toe down this long strip will be the perfect scenario.
Yeah, and you mentioned that looks absolutely spot on, doesn't it? Let's ride on board with her then as she goes down towards the turn 14 section. We'll hand it over to yourself, Abby. Talk us through this braking zone here she's going to come up to. This is the most critical braking zone on the circuit.
Yeah, here, really easy to make a mistake and lock up the front left going into the corner. As you start to turn in, you're just praying that it stays. As we see a lock-up ahead with a puff of white smoke. The exit here, got to be tidy, make sure you get the exit and down to the next long straight. It's all momentum based. You wanna be on the throttle as soon as possible, because that's where you make up all the time. You make that straight as long as possible, whilst trying to maintain a bit of corner speed. And around here, this is flat out the last corner, going even faster. Nearly 5 tenths ahead of Chloe Chambers. That was a phenomenal lap, and I think helped with her teammate.
I was going to say Chloe Chambers is on a lap, and she just crosses the line, lost a little bit of time to Dorian Pan in that final sector. Maya Berg, though, she is back out. Was that her coming out of the pit? I know that was Chloe Chong in the Charlotte Tilbury car. One driver to point out is Rachel Robinson in the Tag Her car, up into P7, obviously stepping in for Ava Agagnostiadis, who's still got her injury. So a good showing from Rachel so far.
she's doing very well to be stepping in and going along in what would be a front row start for race 1 if she can stay where she is. Let's find out what she can do in terms of the drivers just ahead of her. Tina Hausmann is on a good lap, but she's about to catch some traffic here. We've been talking a lot about team tactics here, Abby. Is that something that you would, in terms of when you get to a track like this, would you try and plan something with a driver if a tow is really necessary?
It is very hard because every driver is out there for themselves. Of course, you see in Formula 1 the team tactics, but their team situation is a little bit different, whereas is here, I mean, with how close the championship is, you would imagine that they want to make their chances as big as possible, and around a track like this, having the slipstream, having that extra little bit of free time almost, because that's what it is, you would imagine this conversation would have happened before the weekend. At least I would have hoped if I was in their positions.
And look at this, Alice. We got Chloe Chambers getting a tow from about 4 cars ahead of her. This could put her back onto provisional pole.
Yeah, and this is where you're driving down the straight and go, please can no one lock up in front of me? Please can no one make a mistake? I've just got the ideal tow. And that middle sector from Chloe, that was fast. That was impressive. So she's gonna head through turn 17, easy flat out for these F1 Academy cars, as you'll just have to make sure you hit every gear change perfectly as we await, and she does, up to the top of the times, a 2:07.150. I just want to point out as well, Maya Berg's under a lot of pressure here.
Yeah.
We've got 11.5 minutes of the session remaining. I don't know if she did change tyres, but a lap is over 2 minutes here, and if she's got to do a couple of warms, that's not going to give her a lot of time to do a lap.
Now, we've got some cars coming in. Oh, Peyton Westcott's come in, Rachel Robertson's come in. Is this where we start to find out what their tactic truly is, and they start to have the track to themselves? Because Maya Berg is on a lap, but it is a slower one, so I assume she's in a build process here, Abby. I wonder if it's that they want the track more to themselves. Meanwhile, we pick up Dorian Pan, who is trying currently to respond. She's done a good first sector, now has to try and find 0.2 of a second to get that provisional pole position back. Tina Hausmann is having one of her best qualifying sessions in her F1 Academy career as well, there in 3rd place.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be really hard. She just goes purple, actually, in the middle sector, so she's doing a brilliant job, even without that slipstream. But it's really important for her to try and do this, but I think she might be on a different strategy. I think with this time to go, I'll be surprised to see Dorian box now and try and get another set of tyres in. I think maybe they're keeping out for the whole session as the track and the tyres keep getting warmer and warmer and warmer. Maybe they've scrubbed a set in free practice, an extra set, and if she doesn't box this lap, which she's purple, so why would she? I think she's doing as you would say, I guess, a one-stop strategy in qualifying.
Yeah. No, I think she's looking strong, looking very, very strong, and I'm just getting told that Maya, they took the tyres off, checked them, and then put them back on, so apparently she's still on the same set, so they will still have some sort of temperature, as Dorian just wasn't able to maximise that final sector. I did get to chat to Chloe Chambers' family in the F1 Academy, the fantastic F1 Academy paddock that they've got here in Las Vegas. And her dad said, well, she's got nothing to lose. Home race, desperately wanting a win, as of course are all the drivers. You see Rafaela Ferreira lock up just avoid the back of Chloe Chambers. And of course, Chloe hasn't got anything to lose. She's fighting for 3rd in the championship, but she can't win the championship. So she could be the cat amongst the pigeons.
Maya Berg is now P6, Ferreira is P5. Parmovsky is the one that's improving there. She's gone up to P3 overall. One thing Parmovsky said, though, in her interview after practice was that she thinks this will be decided on the very last lap, and that might be something that will help Maya Berg, but it is certainly advantage Dorian Pan currently, who is seemingly in a fight with Chloe Chambers for this pole position, but a lot can change in 8 minutes and 45 seconds. Meanwhile, we jump back on board here, Alice, with Dorian Pan, and she is improving once more.
Yeah, personal best in the first sector and goes purple the first driver to break into the 40-second mark in that middle sector. Maya Bergwatch, she's over a second down in the first sector and over a second down in the middle sector as well, as Dorian Pan has the long wait going down the Las Vegas Strip.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be really hard. She's up on Chloe's time now, but because she doesn't have that 4-car slipstream that Chloe had going here, it's going to be really hard for her to match that sector time, that third sector that Chloe did, because it's going to be a huge advantage. So the margin is definitely, I think, going to come down here.
And she had a big old slide there, did Dorian Pan, coming through turn 14, but let's see if that's impacted her overall time at all. Yes, well, yeah, lost 3.5 tenths, just seemed to carry too much speed in at the end of the Las Vegas Boulevard. Meanwhile, we go back on board with Maya Berg, who just cannot improve at the moment. Since she's made that pit stop where she did not change tyres, Alice, she just seems to have lost some time and momentum.
She has 7 minutes of the session remaining, and the thing is, she'll have plenty of information from her team. That Leah Block she's got in front of her that's warming up her tyres, but then you're into the 6 minutes left, 5 minutes left, and you're thinking, I'm struggling to get this time out of the car. You had it several times last year, Abby. Barcelona, I remember being stressed watching you.
Thankfully as well.
Yeah, thankfully you did pull it out of the bag,
yeah.
But Maya will be hoping to do something similar, as she has set a personal best in the middle sector, but it's 3 tenths off what Dorian Pan's been doing.
It is a big margin for her to find. I mean, currently 1.4 off. Okay, improving on her lap time now, but it doesn't feel probably with a lot of confidence, as you say. There's 7 minutes to go as we hear from Dorian.
Okay, Dori, we need the sector 3 and we need a tow for sector 3.
Interesting info. And I think we have seen, Abby, that put into motion. We've seen the drivers who have got a good tow down that third sector where we are now and have been benefited from it. But Maya Berg cannot really afford to go searching for a tow now. She just has to put lap times in. She's only going to have around 3, maximum 4 laps left to go.
I mean, I'd happen to disagree with that. I think her chances of getting pole without a tow is really slim. You know, if you look at the sectors, she was 2 tenths up on Chambers' lap going into the last sector, and then she was, I think it was 3 or almost 4 tenths down after that, so she loses almost 5 tenths just in that last sector alone. So that slipstream is really pivotal, as we're seeing Alicia Małowski getting a nice helping hand from, I think it is Tina Hausman ahead.
Yeah.
Don't forget, you get the 2 points per pole position as well. So
that's
every
crucial.
driver wants to be pole, of course, but getting those 2 points could be pivotal. And up, it's going to be potentially a Campos front row. Alicia Palmovsky just jumps up into second place, runs a little bit deep into turn 1. So looking good for the 2 Red Bull cars out there at the moment. Personal best for Maya Berg, 2 tenths shy of what Dorian Pan did in the first sector. So she's getting there, but is there enough time for her to continue to improve?
Her teammate is up the road as well. I don't know if Alba Larsen is on a flying lap, but this wouldn't be a bad time, would it, for Maya Berg to have that support in terms of a critical tow. There we go. Is that Alba Larsen slowing down?
I think this could be a tactic. Obviously, Alba Larsen is joining Ferrari next year, so it could be a little bit of like, right, okay, we're trying to win this F1 Academy Championship. Ferrari are trying to be on the top step here, and this looks like a perfectly planned tow by MP and Alba Larsen, Abby.
I almost think, I wish Alba may have left a bit more of a margin. I mean, this is time to perfection, but maybe getting that slipstream out of this next corner as well would have helped even more in this last sector, as that was really, really well handled by Maya Berg there into the braking zone. And when you're actually approaching a slipstream, you're approaching at a much higher speed, so the braking zone changes a little bit, becomes more difficult. And gosh, I think that was pretty good from the 2 teammates there.
I think this could potentially propel her up to the top of the times, because that was a very good, just shy. She was purple in that final sector, but most important thing is she's ahead of Dorian Pan.
Great team tactics. Like you said, Abby, it's crucial to get a tow through that final sector, and Alba Larsen came to the rescue for Maya Berg there. What team tactics from MP Motorsport. and she's still got time to go again, but she is crucially ahead of Dorian Pan, who now needs to respond. Meanwhile, Chloe Chambers only has herself to beat, and she is the one behind championship leader Dorian Pan. Let's watch the times through the final corner, and Chloe Chambers, look at the impact she just got following Dorian Pan. She now has a gap of 4.5 tenths.
I mean, that was Dorian Pan was out to try and find a toe. Her teammate Tina Houseman, the Aston Martin car, is in front of her, and then Chloe Chambers thought, okay, well, if you're going to try and find a toe, I'm going to get a toe off you, and increased her gap nearly half a second to Maya Berg. But the thing is with Maya now, she set a personal best in that first sector, and it's nearly purple. It's looking good, but she hasn't got Alba Larson to give her that toe, and Ella did she brush the barrier there? She was all locked up. She's lost time. Yeah, so wasn't perfectly executed for her down into turn 12.
I think that was getting put off actually from Ella Lloyd. I think Ella Lloyd had got in the way a little bit, and she was overthinking it, saw that she was there and just overshot the entry, and that was almost qualifying over for Maya.
Yeah, now Maya Berg is going to have one more opportunity at this. She's got Alba Larson behind her. Towards the turn 14 braking zone she comes. It looks like that mistake will impact her, but this will be one last opportunity as she exits this section to go for a final lap to try and take pole position. Crucially, she's ahead, but she might be passed by Alicia Parmovsky, who is absolutely flying along. She is heading down the Las Vegas Boulevard, I believe, making her way down to that turn 14 section. And here she is now. We jump on board with her, Abby.
Yeah, I mean, going down here, getting a nice slipstream again. I think that the campus have timed this perfectly. They've always been getting a good toe as Chloe Chambers pulls out to let her teammate pass.
She's going to try and get the toe off her teammate. That's what's happening here.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's thinking, I want some more. 5 tenths or 4.5 tenths isn't enough. I want a little bit more. But yeah, into that tricky braking zone, getting a good exit. Now going down into turn 17. Here it's easily flat, using all the track width, cutting the line as much as possible, and up to P2, so overtaking. And also Dorian Pan is well improving on her time, so she's managed to get that slipstream she's been looking for. It's all mixing up. You don't know who's got the momentum here. It's anyone's game.
But Maya Berg's done a really poor first sector, and this is the replay that we saw, and just she brushed the barrier. That was so close. That'll be it for, I think that's probably going to be it, isn't it, Abby, for Maya Berg, depending on where she is on the circuit. She's 3 tenths off. Actually, Alba Larson has set a very good first sector. So crucially, Dorian Pan has jumped up in front of Maya Berg and is setting a personal best. She's getting a toe from her teammate. So could this be the lap that propels Dorian Pan up into pole position?
This is kind of where you want almost into team radio. So you say, Tina, just make sure on the strip you're at a perfect distance so that I can get pole position. This is what's happening here.
Yeah, and Maya Berg, you mentioned, did not have a great first sector, but she's now going to give the toe to Alba Larson, who might well overtake her here. We'll find out what happens, but this is going to be it. Dorian Pan has a great opportunity here, Alice, to take pole position, and it's going to be very close.
It is. She's 2 tenths down in the middle sector from the fastest overall, which is set by Chloe Chambers. But, oh, look at that. That's going to be perfect. We've got a yellow flag in the first sector. Is that going to affect? Maya Berg's got the checker flag, so she won't out-qualify Dorian Pan, but crucially, is Tina going to pull over and let her teammate through? She's obviously fighting for herself. Doesn't look like she is.
No, she doesn't. So Dorian Pan will stay behind, but then we'll get a toe, remember, down here as well. So let's see, will this be enough for Dorian Pan to move any further forward and put cars between herself and her championship rival, Maya Berg? All she can do now is keep her foot to the floor and make her way round to the start-finish line. She stays fourth, she closes the gap, but it will be fourth for Dorian Pan, fifth for Maya Berg, and it will be Chloe Chambers who takes a fourth pole position of her F1 Academy season, and does so on home soil. Well done to Chloe Chambers. The Red Bull 4 driver will line up on pole position for the final race of the season in Las Vegas. 4 pole positions this season, and alongside her will be another Red Bull driver in Alicia Parmovsky. They've done a clean sweep of the front row. Alba Larsen 3rd, Dorian Pan 4th, Maya Berg 5th. What a qualifying session.
And that is another pole position. Come on, P1. Yes.
Hooray! Oh, after the weird thing in practice, that was a good comeback, I think.
Perfect execution there. As Campos, you can tell, are pretty happy on the pit wall. And it was by a nice margin, 0.3 of a second to her teammate as well. I think this could be quite crucial, though. Alba Larsen is just in front of Dorian Pan. We're going to have on Saturday in the main race her lining up alongside Dorian Pan, and Maya Berg just behind. I mean, I wish we could just fast forward to the race tomorrow, because it's going to be a good one.
Thoughts for yourself, Abby?
Yeah, I'm kind of echoing Alice's thoughts. If I was Maya, I would be saying to my teammate, make that car as wide as possible, please. Do not let the silver car past. That would be what I'd be doing. But yeah, I mean, who knows? It's a really exciting grid. Of course, the Campos being on the front row is going to be great for them and makes for some exciting racing.
It really will. It's going to be very exciting racing. We're going to have the 2 championship leaders starting right together in 4th and 5th place. 9 points between them. It's going to be all to play for. And that session tells you that overtaking is going to be very possible. Just like they were in Canada, the Campos Racing teammates Chambers and Parmovsky are 1 and 2. Alba Larsen, 3rd place. What a season she's had. Dorian Pan is 9 points ahead of Maya Berg, and they are 4th and 5th. Will that be the difference when we get to the final race? We'll have to find out. Houseman, P6, Emma Felbermeyer 7th, Nina Gabeman will be on pole for the first race tomorrow. Rafaela Ferreira 9th, Ella Lloyd 10th, then Giconte Block, Nobels Robertson has held herself very well in 14th on her debut. Crone Chong, Peyton Westcott will also make her debut in the first race tomorrow. Nicole Havrida was 18th place. That is all. 2 races to decide the 3rd champion of the F1 Academy. It's been great to have both champions so far, Marta Garcia and Abby Pulling, with us. Join us for race 1 tomorrow at 6:15 local time. We'll see you then.